The charm of hand-painted tile appeals to virtually everyone. Tile is the ultimate material. It is bright and durable, and its appealing colors, patterns, and designs are eternally preserved when it becomes the visible facing or surface of the structure that it covers. Crafted by hand, specially designed or patterned tile has been a repository of the maker's imagination for thousands of years, perfectly capturing and preserving part of the artistic force. Magda Csihas, a longtime resident of and professional artist in San Antonio, Texas, was born in Colombia, South America. In 1978, Magda started to create her own designs and patterns, gradually transferring them to tile and developing the wide variety of styles represented in her totally hand-painted work. 10 years later, she designed what would ultimately become one of her best-known creations, casitas. The word casitas is Spanish for little houses. These tiles are a stereotype representation of houses and villages composed of individually glazed tiled chips, which are adhered to a hand-painted tile background, creating an exceptional three-dimensional effect. She also decorates ceramic bowls, dishes, boxes, and ceramic jewelry, all with the vibrant colors and well-outlined patterns which characterize her particular style. Magda also accepts custom, commissioned, and special request projects. Before the actual work on tile begins, Magda sketches the design on paper, creating a pattern that will be used as a tracing guide on the tile itself. Her inspiration for designs come from many sources such as nature, architecture, and other tiles. She keeps an extensive collection of archival images to which she refers continually for her most popular selections. After a design has been chosen, it is traced onto the surface of the tile. With the exception of special projects, Magda always uses standard-sized tiles for consistency. This is of particular importance for a tile replacement on an existing surface. Next, she outlines the traced design in black glaze to create lines of division between the different color areas of the tile surface, so that when subjected to the high heat of the firing process, the glazes will not run into each other and distort the final design. As soon as all the areas have been filled in with the different glazes, the tile is ready to be placed into the kiln for the final firing. Note how at this stage, the glazes are dull and pale in color and in no way resemble their final appearance. Many years of experience have taught Magda to remember each color as it looks when applied to the tile prior to firing. This is a very important skill in the glazing process, as many glazes share the same look during application, yet change completely once they have been fired. When designing tiles with underglaze, Magda renders the image with special glazes that resemble watercolors. When the tile is dry, she brushes on a coat of clear, transparent overglaze to completely cover the finished design. Although the coating is opaque when applied, after it is fired in the kiln, it becomes transparent and will be permanently fused to the tile surface. For the creation of her casitas and aquariums, Magda starts with two different steps. The first is to pencil in a light outline of a countryside panorama, complete with such features as mountains, rivers, and roads, and later filling in these areas with a glaze that corresponds to the features. The difference between this technique and glazing is that there are no black lines separating the colors, because on these tiles she wants the glazes to run together to completely cover the tile surface for maximum clarity and impact. Once dry, the finished tile is loaded into the kiln. After firing, the true colors of the glazing are revealed. This will become the background tile used for the casitas scene, over which all the elements will be assembled to create a finished image. The process is the same for the aquarium tiles, but the background scene is changed to resemble an aquatic environment. When complete, a colored board is glued to the back of each tile, complete with a hanging loop and product label for a professional finish. The second step is to work with clay. Magda flattens a lump of soft clay until it becomes just the right thickness. To create the square tree trunks, she'll cut the clay progressively with a flat blade until she gets pieces of the correct length and size. At this time, other shapes such as leaves and various types of tropical fish or other aquatic elements will be made for later use in the aquariums. The remaining flat spaces of the clay sheet are then cut out with circular cutters and will be used to suggest suns and moons. To make cactus stems for the casitas or coral segments for the aquariums, she'll use an extruder, a device which resembles a type of metal syringe with a special nozzle that will help create the exact desired shape when pressure is applied to it. When the clay is air-dried, the shapes are then detached and placed in the kiln for bisque firing, a step which will turn the clay from light gray to bright white, indicating the shapes have been hardened by the heat and rendered permanent. After all the clay pieces have been glazed and fired, then they are sorted according to their group, and the actual composition of each casitas and aquarium design can begin to take shape. Magda then decides on the scene and selects from the many appropriate elements to adhere directly onto the previously made background tile. She repeats this special procedure individually for each and every one of the casitas she makes, thus ensuring that no two will ever be alike. The hand-painted tiles of Magda Csihas are an imaginative vision captured through her finely honed craft. Each piece receives her utmost attention and care throughout the creative process, which highlights the uniqueness so characteristic of her work. Magda's tiles, casitas, and aquariums are available in various art galleries, gift stores, and their websites throughout the United States.